Shalom, shalom. This video is about the Gospel of John chapter 21 verse 1 to 14 and about some numbers to consider as a form of worship. I'll read the text. After these things, Yeshua revealed himself again to the disciples at the Sea of Tiberias. In other words, at the midwestern shore of the Sea of Galilee. That's called close to the town of or city of Tiberias, so it's called the Sea of Tiberias. Now here is how he appeared. Simon Peter, Thomas called the twin or Didymus, Nathanael of Cana in the Galilee, the sons of Zebedee, and two of the other disciples were together. There were 7 disciples together. Simon Peter said to them, "I'm going fishing." "We're coming with you too," they said. They went out and got into the boat, and that night they caught nothing. At dawn, Yeshua stood on the beach, but the disciples did not know that it was Yeshua. So Yeshua said to them, "Boys, what? You don't happen to have any fish, do you?" "No," they answered him, "no fish." He said to them, "Throw the net off the right side of the boat and you'll find some." So they threw the net, and they were not able to haul it in because of the great number of fish. Therefore the disciple whom Yeshua loved said to Peter, "It's the Lord, it's Adonai Yeshua." When Simon Peter heard that it was Yeshua, the Lord, Adonai Yeshua, he tied his outer garment around him, for he stripped down for work, and he threw himself into the sea. It means he dived in and he swam ashore. But the other disciples came in the boat from about 200 cubits offshore, that's about 100 meters, dragging the net full of fish. So when they got out onto the land, they saw a charcoal fire with fish placed on it and bread. Yeshua said to them, "Bring some of the fish you've just caught." And Simon Peter went aboard and hauled the net to shore. There were 153 fish, many of them big, but the net was not broken. Yeshua said to them, "Come have breakfast." None of the disciples dared ask him, "Who are you?" knowing that it was the Lord Adonai Yeshua. Yeshua came and took the bread and gave it to them, and likewise the fish. And this is just like the multiplication of the fish and the bread that he did before, twice before. This was now the 3rd time that Yeshua was revealed to the disciples after he was raised from death. And this last verse is probably a gloss and not part of the original text. So let's consider the numbers in these verses. 7 disciples went fishing. 7 is the Hebrew letter Zion. Zion is God's covenant number. Whilst the letter Vav is 6, Vav 6 is the number of man. Zion is a crowned Vav, Vav with a little hood on it. A combination of Vav, the man, with the letter Yud, which Yud represents the extended mighty right hand of God, but it also represents the Holy Spirit because it hovers higher than the other letters, like the Holy Spirit hovered over the creation waters. Yes, the Spirit-filled man steps into a covenant with God. That's the meaning of Zion. Yeshua is that Spirit-filled man. And when we are Spirit-filled, we step into brotherhood with him. The number 153 is the gematria of Ani Elohim, which translates as I am God. And this is why the number of fish caught matters enough to be recorded in the Bible. Adonai's holy name, Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh, occurs 153 times in the book of Genesis. And there are several other interesting but hidden occurrences of the number of 153 in the Bible. But I'm going to leave that to you to seek out for yourself. I'll give you a hint, for instance. 3 times a group of 51 soldiers came to Elijah to arrest him. The first 2 times they were killed. The 3rd time he went with them. 3 times 51 is 153. So if you seek, you will find. This event was the 3rd time that Yeshua multiplied fish and bread to feed the hungry. And all 3 times occurred in close proximity to Tiberias, on the western shores of the Sea of Galilee. This is why John recognized Yeshua The number 3 reminds us of the Trinity. And then the gloss at the end of the passage states that it was the third time that Yeshua appeared to the disciples after his resurrection. But because it's a gloss and not written by John, I'm of the opinion that there probably were other occasions too, but that John did not record those in his written gospel. And maybe the person who wrote the gloss confused the previous 3 multiplications of the bread, previous 2 with this one, 3 together. And that's where the 3 came from. And then lastly, 3 in Hebrew is the letter Gimel. And Gimel normally is a camel, but Gimel is also a rich man bestowing blessings on the poor, or a rich man running to give alms to the poor, which is an image of what God does for us. The 3, or the Gimel, refers to God sending Yeshua to provide salvation for us, the biggest blessing we can ever get. The numbers reveal that the man on the beach is Yeshua. And this may be the reason why the disciples dared not to ask who the man was. They knew that he was Yeshua, and we'll explore that a little bit more in the next video. God is in the detail. And long before modern society changed the expression to also recognize that the devil is in the detail, we should be aware of both. And with that, I hope I gave you something to ponder upon, and I wish you shalom, shalom.